Good morning. My name is Kara, and I'm with Brittany Hausman today. She is the Ankeny KinderCare Learning Director. So we are at the brand new facility here in Ankeny, and we are just going to chat a little about the new facility, the types of staff members, and the things that you can look forward to seeing here if you were to enroll your child in childcare here. So we are going to hop right in. We will talk a little bit, and then we will finish with a quick little tour of the new facilities. So, Brittany, tell me a little bit about yourself and your background here in childcare, and then also with KinderCare.
Sure. So I've been in childcare for 10 years. My husband and I, along with our 5-year-old daughter Kate, live right here in Ankeny. We're actually 1.7 miles from the center, so this has been a really great commute for Kate and I. So I just joined KinderCare in December, and so just getting in with all of their curriculum and all of their different things that they had to offer for support. It's been amazing. So it's just been a really good experience, and I just love what they have to offer, and I look forward to telling you more about that.
Yeah. So we are in a brand new location, a brand new building. Tell me, how long have you guys been open?
So we just opened last Monday, March 4th, so we're on week 2 here with kiddos.
Very good. And, I know that you guys have a lot going on. Are you currently open for enrollment then for everybody?
We are. We're enrolling all age groups, so starting at 6 weeks old and then going to school age up to 12 years old.
Okay, so tell me, if I was a new parent and I was interested in checking you out, what types of things, what would you recommend for me to do? Should I give you guys a call? Would I be able to set up some time to come in, or how does that work?
Of course. So with the new centers, they actually have an enrollment center that all the enrollments go through. But if you go to kindercare.com, you will see that information, and then you can reach out to our enrollment center, and then they will go ahead and set up a tour for you. They let me know you're coming in, and you would come in, and I would take you around the building and show you the different classrooms of what age groups you're interested in. Then I would send you with a packet with some more paperwork and a little bit more about KinderCare, the menu that we have to offer, and so that's kind of how that first step looks.
Okay, very good. So I know that you guys cover a broad range of ages. Can you kind of give me the breakdown as far as what age do you start off with as far as little kiddos, and then how far do you do?
Sure. So we have 2 infant classrooms. We have infants 1 and 2. In our first infant room, it goes from 6 weeks up to 6 months old. Once they're getting a little bit more mobile, we're going to move them up to infants 2. And that room is about 6 months to a year. So that just separates and has those itty bitties in that younger room, and so that those bigger ones can crawl around, explore the room without having to worry about the tiny ones. After that, we go up to toddlers. We have toddlers 1 and 2. In toddlers 1, we're going to have 12 to 18 months, and then we're actually in toddlers 2 right now. In here, we're going to have 18 to 24 months. Then we go up to our 2s. We call that Discovery Preschool, so Discovery Preschool 1 and 2, and those are our 2 2-year-old rooms. Then we go to preschool. Those are our 3s and young 4s. Then we go up to pre-K. Those are going to be our 4s and 5s. And then we go up to school age, and we go up to age 12.
Very good. Can you kind of give me a breakdown as to how many kiddos are in each room, and how many teachers and staff members are there too?
Yeah, sure. So we are licensed by the state of Iowa. So any licensed daycare that you go to in the state of Iowa has to follow the same ratios. In-homes are different than the child care centers. So under the age of 2, it's going to be a 1-to-4 ratio. When we get up to the 2s, it's going to go up to a 1-to-6. Mm-hmm. Our 3-year-olds are 1-to-8. When we go to the 4s, it's 1-to-12. And then when we go to the 5s, it's 1-to-15. So let's say we just opened our infant 2 room. Okay. So with the 1 teacher that I've hired, I can have up to 4 kiddos in there. Once we go to 5, so 5, 6, 7, 8 kiddos, then we would add that second teacher.
Yeah. I know that it's important for parents to, feel like that their child is getting adequate attention, and that they're getting cared for too, and not that they're just, one more child in a room full of children that are just kind of sitting there.
Absolutely. So most of our classrooms are just going to have the 2 teachers with that smaller group size.
That's awesome. That's great. Can you tell me a little bit about like your teachers and your staff members and like what kind of training and background they have to go to?
Yeah, of course. So for the state of Iowa, they will have to have CPR, first aid, universal precautions, mandatory child abuse training, all within 90 days. They also go through a record check process before they start, and then we also send in their fingerprints for a national background check before they start. They'll have to have a physical, child care physical before they start. And then for KinderCare, we have something called the first 100 days. So what that looks like is those first 3 days, it's about 24 hours of a training and orientation of the different things that KinderCare expects and that we kind of stand for. And it's kind of mixed with some classroom observation, but they're not just thrown into a room. They're never going to be thrown into a room by themselves. So it's about 3 days of hardcore training. After that, we're gonna do a 30-day check-in, and then a 60-day check-in, and then a 100-day, kind of call them huddles. And so we're just making sure that those first 100 days, they feel really supported and really get what they need.
That sounds really great. I know that as a parent, if I'm dropping off my baby, I want to feel confident in the person that's going to take care of them. I want to know that they've had the necessary training and that they feel comfortable with the baby or the age group that they're working within. I also think it's also important that, that I feel confident that they've had like background checks,
right,
too. And that, these are going to be quality people that are, being that parent away from myself when I'm gone or at work.
Absolutely. So yeah, starting with the interview process, and I tell people I'm pretty picky. So I had 15 interviews one week and didn't offer anyone the job. The next week I had 2 and I offered them both the job. But some things I'm looking for, of course, education is great. I'm also looking for experience. I'm looking for, are they moms? Do they come from a large family? Did they grow up babysitting? Did they, have they nannied? Have they been around small kids? And especially if we're gonna put them in the infant rooms, are they comfortable with those infants? And so I ask a lot of questions during that interview process.
Yeah, I think that's great. You definitely want to make sure you're vetting all of your people.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you've got quite a variety as far as, little babies on up to, kiddos that are doing preschool. Can you talk about some of the types of early childhood education and different programs that you might work with?
Yeah, so KinderCare has its own education center, and they do all of their own research and write their own curriculum. So that curriculum is called Early Foundations, and it starts right at 6 weeks old. And it goes all the way until 12 years old. And so even if we're itty bitty and we're not moving around or we're not sitting up, we still have activities that we're doing throughout the day. I was just in the Infants 2 covering for a break, and I'm reading to those babies. I'm making sure that they're seeing different things in the room. So it's still important that we're doing things for their development. And then as we go up, it's just getting a little bit more intense as far as what we're putting into the centers and what small groups activities we're doing. Mm-hmm. So if we're looking up at like the preschool and the pre-K, they're going around to different learning centers and choosing what centers they want to be in. So they don't have to sit down and do art. Creative arts is an option, and also other options would be dramatic play, math and manipulatives, sensory play, blocks in a building, but then we're pulling them over for small groups and doing some of that one-on-one, more like a 3-on-1 attention, and doing those different activities. So the curriculum is all in books, it's handed to the teacher, and they really just need to bring that curriculum to life. And there's a lot of curriculum training that goes into that first 100 days as well, but they're given the materials and how to implement it. We just want our teachers to be with the kids. We don't want to exhaust them with trying to come up with different activities. Yeah. Pinterest is great, and they have some really good ideas, but that's exhausting to try to come up with that lesson plan. So that's all given to them, and then we just help them implement it.
That sounds great. I know, as a mom, like I don't want my child to, be just sitting and maybe watching TV the whole day. So it's great to know that they're going to be engaged and that they're going to be working on different things throughout their day and, you know, learning different things in fun ways, but also really intentional ways too.
Yeah, we actually don't have any TVs. So, but yeah, and then they're going outside a couple times a day. We'll go peek up at the gym in a little bit. They're also able to do that. There's different things that we call take it outdoors. So any of that curriculum, if we can go outside, and all of the rooms actually have a door right to the outside that's gated in. They can pull 6 kids and go do that small group activity outside, and we can take that learning outside.
That's awesome. I know, especially with, you know, winter is long, but summer is coming, so it's great to have that option for kiddos to get outside and get some fresh air and to kind of get some of their wiggles out.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Well, I love your new building and your new facilities, and I know that safety is, you know, at the top of your priorities too, and making sure that kiddos are safe, whether or not they are, you know, your safety precautions that you make. And then also, you know, the types of training that you give all of your educators. But can you talk a little bit about some of the safety precautions just in the facility?
Yeah, so we do have a secure entrance. And so once you're enrolled, you would be given a code to get in the door. And then if you have different people picking up, that would be in your paperwork, but you wouldn't give out that code. We're going to go ahead and ID them at the door, and then we're going to walk them into the classroom. And so that IDing at the door is always happening by myself or my assistant director, who is up front. We also have gated playgrounds, so we have 3 separate playgrounds, which is also really nice that the toddlers have their own space. The 2s, 3s, 4s have their own space, and then the 5s and the school age have a little bit bigger of a playground. So it's broken up by age group, and that also is for their safety. We don't want 12-year-olds in with the 2-year-olds when they're playing, because 12-year-olds play quite differently than 2-year-olds. But all of those fences and all those playgrounds are gated in, and then all the rooms have access to get right out to their playground from their rooms, and then that path is all gated. We also do child supervision records every day, and so when the child is coming in, we're writing the time that they're in, and then we write when they go out. Any transition time, so let's say we're walking up to the gym area or we're going outside, we are documenting that transition, and we're doing a name to face check. So I would, you know, Kate, yep, I see Kate. Johnny, yep, I see Johnny. So we're doing those checks during any transitions. We're also doing those checks every 2 hours, just as an additional safety check. We do fire and tornado drills monthly, and so that's just to practice and make sure in case of an emergency everyone knows what's going on, and that the kiddos aren't doing it for the first time, and that they're not scared. I mean, it's getting all the kids out the building. We want that to be something that is practiced and rehearsed, and then also with the tornado drills. We also have backpacks in every room. We have one over here, and we'll cut a pan out here in a minute, but in case of an emergency, we're just going to throw those backpacks on it. It has everything we would need and to get out of the building safely. As it also has all the parents' contact information in it. So
that's awesome.
Those are some of the things that we do to make sure that all the kids are safe here.
Okay. I know that you guys have had a lot going on with, you know, opening for enrollment, and I also know that you kind of have some special things coming up. Can you tell us a little bit about your grand opening celebration that you have?
Yeah, so the grand opening is coming up, not this Saturday, but the next. So it's March 23rd, and it's going to be 10 a.m. to 1. And that is just an open house, come and go, anyone stop in, see the new center. It's such a nice building, and we just love to show it off. So I love when people even just stop in. I will show people around any time of the day. So on Saturday, we're going to have all the staff on hand so that you can talk to them, ask them questions. We'll have different activities in all of the rooms that your children can participate in. And that's going to kind of give you an insight to our curriculum and some of those small group activities. The Ankeny Fire Department has agreed to come, and they're bringing a fire truck so the kids can go through the fire truck. And I just think it's really important to partner with the community in that. Again, if we have an emergency, that they've seen a firefighter before, that they've seen a fire truck, and that it doesn't have to be a scary thing. Those are our community helpers. In the gym, we will have live music and then also airbrush tattoos. So it should be a good time.
Yeah, that sounds like a great day. Again, that is March 23rd. That's a Saturday. And you can find out more information on your guys' website, which is KinderCare.com.
Yeah.
Okay. I think we are going to do a quick little tour. So we're going to walk around the classroom that we're currently in and show you guys some of the features here, and then also walk a little around a little bit of the center too.
Yeah. So we are actually in the toddler 2 classroom now, so you can kind of see how it's broken up into different centers that the kids can go around and pick from. We have 2 areas. So we have the food preparation area and then the diaper area. So those are 2 separate sinks. If we didn't have that, we would be sanitizing the sinks in between every use. And so it's really nice. We have those 2 areas. The kids eat in the classroom, so we have a full-time cook on site that prepares all of the food and brings that into the classroom. So the teachers aren't responsible for doing any of that, and I tell them that I don't want them to. I want them with the kids, and they're focused to be on the kids at all times. So they're gonna throw everything back in the tubs, and our cook is gonna come get it from them.
You know, and that actually brings up a great question that we have had come in previously. So tell us a little bit about like the meals and like the food and the types of like food groups that the kids would be eating from. Do you guys put together like a weekly like idea as to, you know, what kiddos are going to be having for lunches?
Yeah. So here we serve breakfast, lunch, and afternoon snack. We have a 4-week rotating menu. So right now we are on we follow all the KinderCare. So we started on week 4 and now we're back to week 1. But yeah, so we just go by that. So it's all planned out what we're gonna have for the day. It's a lot of fresh fruits and vegetables. Sometimes on those fresh fruits, like the pears might be a little bit too hard for our little ones, so we do like a canned, but that's the only time we're really going to do any canned fruit or vegetables or anything. So we're really doing as much fresh as possible. All of the breads, buns, flatbread pizza is all going to be on whole grain bagels, and so it's really a very healthy menu, and the kids are loving it. My daughter's a little bit picky, so I was kind of nervous. Like one thing on there is like hummus and different things like that. She has not liked anything that we brought in, so she has eaten everything, and so it's just getting them used to different foods and having them try it, and then the staff encouraging that. But it's just a really good menu. It's really healthy.
Did you say you do like an afternoon snack then too? What is an example of like what a snack would be?
Yeah, so one of them is hummus with celery and carrots. Another one is a turkey wrap with cranberries. Another one, we have cucumber slices, cheese cubes. We're a peanut-free center, but we do have sun butter, and that tastes like peanut butter. And so we've done peanut butter and jelly on a flatbread, whole grain, and the kids loved that the other day.
Wow. I think, you know, at these early ages, exposure is so important that kids just don't, you know, they don't want to try something that might look weird, but if they see some of their friends trying it and, you know, are encouraged by people that are not their parents, it really gives them the opportunity to try something that might be a little bit weird to them. So that's awesome.
If their peers are doing it, say with body training or anything, if parents say they're not going to do that, when the whole group is doing it and it's encouraged, then they really do a great job with it.
That's awesome. Well, let's walk a little bit and we'll see a little bit more of the center.
So unfortunately, we can't go into the rooms today because we have kiddos enrolled, and so we don't have that consent from parents, and so we want to respect everyone and be very confidential with their information. But we can show you this front area. So over here, you'll see this is our car seat cubbies. So parents are allowed to leave their car seats, and then as long as mom or dad or grandma has the base of it, anyone can do the drop off and pick up. And so that's just kind of a nice features for parents. Instead of taking it with and then something comes up at work and someone else needs to pick up, that car seat's gonna stay with the child.
Yeah, and it's great to just see all of this, like, just all organized and nothing is being spilled out to other kiddos' stuff.
Right, yeah.
Very good. Okay, tell me about this little door, the food.
Yeah. So the kids love this door. It is locked from the other side. We want to make sure that our entrance is secure, and so we don't want anyone to be able to get in. But the kids can go out through this door, and that's just really something for them to look forward to. They want to come back. They want to, it's just their size. So that's just something fun for the kids.
Very good. And I know that you said that there's a key code that way, you can control all the parents and all the individuals that are coming through the door, and that's right here?
Yeah, so this door is locked. So in order for parents to get in, they would have to have the code. Otherwise, they'd have to ring the doorbell, and then we're going to come over and ID them before they get into the building.
And then there's a staff member that's usually seated up here?
Yeah, so either myself or my assistant director will be up here at all times.
That's a great extra safety precaution. Okay, let's walk into the gym. This is super fun.
So we have this indoor play area, and so we get to come in here a couple times a day if we can't go outside. And we have been using it a ton. I know most of us are in Iowa that are watching, and it's just been a crazy, almost spring. Even when the snow melts, I think it's going to be really muddy. And so this has just been a great space. We have a parachute, so the preschool's been coming in and doing those parachute activities. We have beanbag toss, so we have some different CDs and just get moving, get our wiggles out, like we said earlier.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, very good. Do we have any questions or anything that will come in? Okay. Well, I think that probably wraps up our interview and our time today. Make sure again that you go online and check out KinderCare's website if you're interested in enrollment or setting up a time to tour or coming to their grand opening event. And that's kindercare.com. Oh, and I should mention, so our location here is 3055 North Ankeny Boulevard in Ankeny.
Thanks, guys.